Part two, you guys, because how about this for real life stuff that whenever I get a call through, and I'm doing a live video, then it stops it, and then you can't hear me from that point forward. I've learned this with time, and I do have it on Do Not Disturb, but I have my family; they can call through anytime. So, ta-da! I'm back. Who knows who will watch the second half? Let's go back to the shit, right? Running back inside. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the first video. It's 3 minutes long. This is the second one. It's gonna be really short too. Okay, so I go in, I jump over this pile of poop again. Second time just happened recently, and I like yell downstairs, "Hey John, can you clean up this crap? I'm gonna go clean up the crap that's outside." I don't do well with dog poop, you guys. It's like one of my I can clean up all the baby barf, all of the baby puke, all of the, I mean, I can do a lot, right? I do a lot of that, but like dog, just don't do it well. So I yell down, really no response. I assume we're here where I'm heard. Okay, long story short, miscommunication, right, leads to frustration. And then my hubby and I bickering at each other over this poop. Okay, we're talking about shits and sheets, right? And I was frustrated before, and I found my gratitude in my sheet changing. But now in the shit moment, like this is my reaction now, you guys, over God giving me the opportunity to go to through the last year and a half of major shit storm in midst of this like little tiny one. Good morning, sunshine again, Eric. You're so fabulous. This is how I react. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, it's not his fault. It's not my fault. We really just didn't communicate right. I didn't go down and say anything directly. He didn't know that I was there. He's frustrated because of this. I'm just kind of aloof because of whatever I'm doing with the kids. So like, you know what? I send him a message. I'm like, I just take the whole night off to, just relax in the sunshine room because we have a sunshine room now. I'm going to take care of the kids. I'll wash Finley. I'm like, if you can just clean up that poop, like I'll take care of everything else, right? I'll do medicine. I'll do bedtime. I'll do all of these different things. And then we end up having this conversation again where it was like, when you're like, okay, do I want to be in the frustration? What I talked about yesterday. Do I want to be in that negative energy? And legit, this is the part that I said some of you guys aren't gonna like. This is my reaction at this point. And this is just where I'm at in the majority of my life, guys. I just don't want to spend time in negative energy right now when it's such a small deal. Like those books, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. I just don't want to be there. I just don't want to be in it. It's not about our kid, going back and finding out he has more cancer. And some people don't like when I use that because you're like, oh, so now nothing's bad because our kid doesn't have cancer. That's not what I'm saying. But the small shit isn't bad. And this is why this is our conversation because we have gone through that, right? It's not like he's barfing all night all over the place because we can't get control of his ABPD and he's ill and we're going to be hospitalized. It's not like we have, and I can name these major critical life things that occur that, yes, I will get worked up about, and I will have to invest a lot of time and energy and healing from those. But when it comes to shits and sheets, I'm just not willing to be in a negative space. And instead of just running from that and like allowing that conversation to continue, I talk about it, right? So communicating in a direct way of like, do I really, and I know this is a continuation from yesterday and from part one, but like, do I really want to spend time being frustrated and worked up about this, whatever this is, when it's not, and you could do the same thing with our cancer situation. Absolutely, right? There are some parents, good morning, Miss Mac, that they wish they had the opportunity to fight for their kid, and take them through a year and a half of chemo, but their kid's no longer here. They don't get that opportunity. Their shit is so big. My shit seems minimal. There are other children who can't eat. There are so many things going on in the world that are of so much more complexity, demise, aggravation, and frustration than having shit on your floor from your dog, or not being able to make the sheets and getting frustrated about that, or being late to work this morning, or having a small argument with a friend, or a tip that's over here, or you didn't get your way in this. And we get so worked up about that we spend this time in all of this negative energy where we really don't have to. Right. And I'm not saying that I want you guys to be like continually putting yourself in that, well, at least it's not cancer bucket, but you could at least let it like surface somewhere of, hey, this actually isn't so bad. My house didn't just burn down in a fire in Louisville like happened a couple years ago. Like, this is not so bad. It's just a little bump in the road. And I think if we can acknowledge the bump in the roads for what they are, and that doesn't mean that you can't be frustrated, but do you want to be frustrated for 30 seconds or for 30 minutes or for 30 years about it? How long do you want to be with that? And I feel like my ability to react because I have been given this situation, I can catch myself so much easier. And you guys, I pray that you don't have any of these huge things occur in your world. And some of you have, and you could probably comment, yes, I get you what you're saying. Like, I went through this major life event and I do see things differently now. I don't sweat the small stuff because I've experienced the big stuff. But guess what? You don't have to experience the big stuff to have the opportunity to not sweat the small stuff. You can learn from other people's experiences. You can be like, you know what? I don't have to go through what she went through or what he went through or what they went through. I can just acknowledge that it's just the sheet corner coming up or a shit on the floor. And I'm gonna be okay. Do I love cleaning up poop? Nah, I don't, but you know what? I'm gonna do it and we're gonna laugh about it afterwards. I feel like this is a supportive conversation. And if you guys can just dive, we always end with some sort of commitment, right? If you guys can dive into the thought of, take a look at your last 24 hours, 48 hours, maybe your last 7 days, and see, where did you get worked up? Where were you like, did you feel that bubble of aggravation in your stomach? And could you maybe see it differently next time to see it for what it really is? Like, it's just a small moment, right? And moving forward, when you feel that bubble come up in your tummy, like I did when I was doing the sheets last night, can you just say, this is so silly. This is not that big of a deal. I can just get through this. I'm going to go a different direction. There's a detour. I'm going to call my boss and let him know, hey, I'll be a few minutes late, or whatever that is. Can you find a way to communicate with yourself differently? All right. Good morning, sunshines. I'm just here to remind you that perspective reveals miracles. And if you can just either pull yourself in to look at things a little bit differently or pull yourself away to look at things a little bit differently, you could discover more happiness in your world. I love you so much. Callie Carroll. Goodbye, my friends. Oh, go watch video number 1 if you're like, what is she talking about with the sheets? It's super short.